She got loud on nerve.
It's a day, and I'm riding through this rodeo, and I don't think I can go this slow, Drinking carrot till I can't relate, Out of men I can't with fornicate. It's a day. You dealing with the real. If it don't say that, I will. Is you in? Is you coming for the thrill? I'm tripping, I don't think this is real. Catch me plotting on the mill. My balls that bullets they kill. My flow still fluids can't steal. My rhymes put my fame in the bill. Oh God, please don't try to fool me. You gonna make me go and fuck with my energy. I don't lie violence, but ain't no taming me. If you fucking with my squad or my family, don't follow me before you know what I can be, when I'm feeling low. Feelings go, I don't really say, but feelings go. Just one more go before I hit the road. I'm riding through this rodeo, and I don't think I can go this slow. Drinking carrot till I can't relate. Out of men I can't with fornicate. It's a day. Speaking of the things I be doing, if I'm in, I bring the whole crew in. So wildin', I bring the whole zoo in. So violent with screaming Hadouken. Pull up a trigger at the end with the chat at the end of the matter with action. Into the winners who have in the vintage without having any traction. Really in my mind, I see through my holy eye. Capping off my mind, I see through the solar skies. And I'm singing loud, bitch, don't kill my vibe. My head be on a cloud, I be so damn high. Don't follow me before you know what I can be, when I'm feeling low. Feelings go, I don't really say, but feelings go. Just one more go before I hit the road. I'm riding through this rodeo, and I don't think I can go this slow. Drinking carrot till I can't relate. Out of men I can't with fornicate. It's a day.
Greetings everyone, welcome to a brand new video from Throttle Alpha. You can call these bikes the underdog of the sports bike industry. Yes, we have the Lifan KPR165 with us, and we have the two variants that are present for the bike. This particular variant is the 165 fuel injected variant, and the other variant is the carbureted variant. The two bikes have slight differences, not in the chassis but in the engine. We will look through the pros and cons of both of the bikes in this video. The carbureted variant was launched this year, however the fuel injected variant was launched last year. They have color differences, and you can see the color difference in details.
The CARB variant features 3 new gloss paint schemes in red, green and blue. The FI variant featured 2 matte colors and 1 gloss color. The bike still features the original 16-liter fuel tank and the original sharp mantis-like projection headlights, which has good range and night visuals. Instrument cluster shows all the information that you need, including time and gear indication, but it has an issue. Whenever the bike's at side stand position, the meter misreads. It shows original reading once the bike is in riding position.
Now coming to the seating position for the KPR165. The seating posture is very comfortable for both the bikes. Since the chassis layout is semi-sport, the back seat isn't extended much, for which you get a layered panel. The seating position is very ideal for riders between 5.5 to 5.9 feet of height, but however riders of 6 feet might feel a little uncomfortable. But this seating posture and handlebar position is very relaxing and comfortable even for long rides.
The bike has a moderate ground clearance, but still it gets pretty low from the behind once a pillion is present. The bike looks pretty odd when the rear is so dipped down and also makes handling tough with pillion if the pillion is heavy. Now coming to the handlebar setup. The 3-part handlebar might seem uncomfortable and wide, but trust me, it feels very agile and confident while riding with this handlebar setup. The handling feels solid, but the turning radius is very low, at times making slow U-turns tough. But it's nothing that's troublesome, and even in heavy traffic, the bike manages good outputs for the compact design and wide handlebar setup. The bike features basic switch contents, and there's a kill switch. And you have a windshield in the front or a front fairing that cuts wind resistance quite effectively from the chest area, and it also allows you a room to get yourself tucked into. And the radiator guard comes stock and barricades damage to the radiator.
Now coming to the suspension for the KPR165. The bike features the same suspension and chassis setup from the KPR150, which did not do a good job. The suspension is very stiff. Whenever you are in off-road condition, the suspension does not give good feedback for rider and pillion both. It has a very stiff profile. It does a good job in context of high-speed jerks. Whenever you're riding fast, you don't feel the high-speed jerk or vibrations, however. But this did require a suspension upgrade.
And the rear suspension especially is pretty problematic while riding with pillion. It gets pretty uncomfortable at times. And the front features telescopic forks, which does a decent job in handling speed jerks at high speeds. The handlebar bears some vibrations while aggressive throttling, but the vibrations feel nimble thanks to the heavy weight of the bike. However, the suspension still lacks optimum terrain response. In heavy off-road situations, the suspension still suffers.
And now coming to the second major difference is the swing arm. The new KPR features an extended swing arm in the chassis layout at the back, which enables you to fit in a 130 section tire. However, the older variant, the FI variant, does not have a chassis extension or a swing arm extension that allows you to put in a 130 tire. So you get a 120 section rear tire in this one. So these are the basic two differences that this bike offers. However, the 165 variant that we have here with us has a few aftermarket upgrades, and we will come to the details.
The new CARB variant features a 130 section CST rear tire profile at stock conditions, and you get a 90 section front tire. We have a Timson Domino 2 swapped variant here, which has a very superior grip quality. The KPR really deserved a tire upgrade, and the bike finally got one, and the CARB feels amazing to maneuver now, and the overall traction did get very better. And for the FI variant, which did not get a fatter 130 section tire, does a pretty good job with the 120 section Timson dual sport tire that the company provided. The overall 150 kg heavy chassis keeps the bike heavily grounded with the ground whenever you're riding, and the tires matches out with the performance too. The Timson dual sport tire might reduce performance in context of speed, but it has excellent wet tractions, and even at the top ends it feels amazing to ride with. And the new Timson 120 section dual sport tire feels much better than the old 120 section CST tires that the company provided. This bike also has a 90 section front tire.
The chain setup for the KPR165 does not do a good job. The chain gets often very loose. The bike is very torquey. In low gears, the bike seems to have a very steep torque map for which the chain takes a lot of stress. So whenever you're putting a lot of stress on the chain, it tends to get loose within 3 to 5 days of use. And I think this bike requires a chain upgrade.
The CARB variant did get a chain setup and a sprocket setup upgrade, but it still tends to get loose very often. But in context of the FI variant, it does a pretty better job.
Coming to the two main differences for the bike. The engine. The carbureted variant has a new engine and a gearbox update. The past engine, the NBF1, had a very hard clutch. The 165 FI has a very hard gearbox, and the engine is not smooth at all. The engine is very aggressive whenever you're pulling the low torques, but you feel a slight bit of unsmoothness in context of the torque that you feel. But however, the 165 carbureted variant has a very smooth gearbox. The NBF2 gearbox has a new clutch balancer and clutch assembly, which helps the gearbox stay very optimum and smooth within high and low revs. The basic difference in the engine is that they look different, but however the numbers are the same. They both have 70 Nm of torque and about 17 horsepower.
And here's a 0 to 100 test run for the fuel injected variant. you can see, the FI variant managed to touch 100 in only about 11 seconds. And we also pulled off a top speed run for the FI variant, and you can see how smoothly and effectively the torque output worked even at the last gears for the bike. We didn't get the effective road conditions for a total top speed, but the bike will manage to touch a top speed number of about 137 km per hour. Here's a 0 to 100 test run for the Carburetor Variant. The carbureted variant took about a second longer to touch 100 in context of the fuel-injected variant. The carbureted variant did suffer some power loss due to the smoother gearbox and the fatter grippy tire upgrade present in it. Certainly the bike's effective to touch a slightly better top speed. Here's a top end output for both the bikes. You can see the ECU controlled 165 did do a good job in terms of initial acceleration, while the CARB did suffer some power loss at the end. However, both of the bikes did well. And the CARB has 2 liters of reserve tank capacity, while the FI has no reserve tank option. Now coming to the braking system for the KPR, both the variants features 300mm front disc, which has a progressive but good output. You have 240mm rear discs to back you up, and you can also switch to aftermarket KPT disc for better braking performance. I think the braking is more than adequate enough for complete halt in terms of emergency braking situations, and I think the braking does a pretty good job. Both the bike features the same exhaust mufflers and they sound pretty good. Both the variants for the 165R is a successor to Lifan's older variant, the KPR150, which did indeed do good in the Bangladeshi market here. Now it is up to us to test ride this unit and see whether it will stick to its guts. Hope you like this video. Do share and subscribe to our channel and stick with us. Till next time.
And I'm riding through this rodeo, and I don't think I can go this low, drinking Carol till I can't relate, I feel like I can't fornicate.